Good morning. Fantastic day 5 of the fourth World Age Group Underwater Hockey Championships. Nat Wickham sitting in the chair on the mic today. And I think I've got Dave Lambert joining me. Hi, Dave. You've just come from Glory Moments.
Yeah, good morning, Nat. Looking forward to the Colombian Games. This is one of the ones that we're sort of
it is possible to defend them
in the glory days.
That was number
just a shout out if everyone's
Sydney.
out there watching. Don't forget to go to our fund website, and the game's underway already for us, Nat.
Absolutely. Make sure you do go to the GoFundMe and make us even a small donation to cover all this fantastic streaming, all the great stuff we're doing with getting the vision to you at home.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough match, this one. We got the fourth place Colombians currently on the ladder as of this morning, and the fifth place team, Great Britain, in fifth. They're pretty close on it. I think Great Britain has played one more game than Colombia.
7.
Great Britain has played one more game than they have and it'll be a clash of the different styles and the energy that both brings. I think one's a bit more explosive energy, Nat, and the other one is a bit more in control, but very similar styles, Nat.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, David, Colombia will probably have 3 games today or tomorrow. Great Britain are down to 2 games a day just to catch up, so they've played the same amount of games in this double round robin.
Yeah, I think that's exciting for the women playing a double round robin. I'm not sure if you realize that, with a double round robin, they get a good look at each other and get prepped for the finals, and coaches will be taking copious notes.
Oh, absolutely. So we've got in black, we've got Colombia going left to right and Great Britain going from right to left. I'm just going to run through the Great Britain team, David, and then you can do the Colombians. We've got 2, Lorna Dickinson, 3, Nia Matthews, 4, Rachel Davis, 5, Emily McEwen, 6, Cara Gaskell, 7, Chloe Edwards, 8, Vicky Crawford, 9, Abby Calvert, 10, Becky Northover, 11, Rosie Winter, and 12, Pearl Winter, sisters, and 13, Daisy Wright, with coach Joe Pitch 4th.
Yeah, we just had a free puck by the Great Britain trying to attack the Colombian goals right in front of the goals. The Colombia did well to defend. It was it could have gone either way there very quickly. It was probably a misdirected flick by the Great Britons, but the crumbs were picked up with Colombia and swooped into the corner to deflect that attack, Nat.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at that morning sun streaming through there, David. Looks fantastic, but just makes it a little bit hard for us to see on the other side. Great Britain trying to bring it off the wall and cut through to the corner, but as I've called quite a few of these Colombians games, they are very strong bringing it out along the wall. They just seem to cycle through player after player after player.
Yeah, that's right, Nat. You can see both teams have, a watching player, but everyone else is on the bottom. And we have the Colombians. Both teams play down a pretty narrow channel and then wait for an opportunity to pounce. And watching some of their games in the past, both teams love the pounce.
Yeah, exactly, David. And look, we can see on the surface here the refs playing an advantage, which is which keeps the flow of the game. That as soon as that team loses the advantage, they'll pull up a free pass.
Yep.
So, big
hold on
drive.
a second. We've got a signal by Chief Helen. She's signaling a goal. Yes, goal. And it looks like I'm seeing number 9. Number 3 possibly, but there's a lot of fingers going up in the air there. All positive ones, negatives.
Yeah,
but,
look, that's 3.
Yep.
3 minutes into the game and first goal to Great Britain.
Yeah, and
wow.
they're signaling number 3, Nina Matthews here. Just while we're getting ready to set, I'll go through the Colombian team. Excuse my Spanish. For the Colombian number 1, Isabella Cardoza. Number 2, Catalina Arazeta. Manuela Casas, number 3. Natalie Gil, number 4. Number 5, Marina Tobarces. 6, Valentina Zappa. 7, Marina. Number 8, Daniela. 9, Gabriela Oneza, and number 10, Isabella Franco, 11, Michelle Herenda, and 13, Maluena Valencia. And Coach Sergio Lenz is sort of guiding the teams in this game. And again, the Great Britons have made a press on the team, and they're working that narrow channel.
Very quick off the strike, David. And I've been watching the way they clear it out. It's a really interesting style of play. The Great Britain players swim a 45, cut it back in as if they're going to go round the back line, but then cut that 45 again, and it's really mixing it up. The Colombians are just having a little bit of trouble settling against this, I think.
Yeah, I think they weren't expecting the Great Britons to come out in a strong advancement on the Colombians. So the Colombians are a bit rattled. They need a bit of time to settle. It's been 5 minutes, and Great Britain have the lead 1-0.
Yeah, this is a really enjoyable game, David. There's lots of space being found, and the girls are trying to find the space, which opens it up. But there is pressure every turn. And you'll see this Colombian girl make a nice deep swim back, get possession, wait for her team to regroup beside her and behind her.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for her support to get there, but the Brits slid across nicely to try to contain her swim, and they guarded her all her support channels except for the one. And we got a Great Britain making a strong drive. The Colombians defended, but right there, look, there's another Brit trying to burrow her way underneath, and she's looking back at the referee, thinking, "I think I put that in, Chief Ref."
Yeah, look. If I was a team coming up against Colombia later today, I'd be definitely watching what the Great Brits are doing, because I haven't seen Colombia under this much pressure yet in this tournament. Great Britain are doing something that is creating some gaps, and they're capitalising on it.
Yeah, that goal was scored by number 4, Rachel Davis, as the camera pans to her, going for a well-earned rest. And you're right there, Nat. And I don't think I've seen the Colombians so flat. Maybe it's just the early morning game, but they need to call a timeout and get this group set. And sure enough, they're calling a timeout, and Coach Sergio will have to get in there and have a concentrated talk to his team. Where Joe, what do you think Joe will be saying over in the Great Britain side?
Oh, look, he won't be liking this timeout, because the Great Britain girls have got momentum. That was a terrific call by Sergio. I would imagine that Joe would just be settling it down, deep breathing, girls, continue to do exactly what you've been doing. And I reckon they'll be just heads down now and focused for the restart of play.
Yeah, you're right there, and it's interesting how the Colombian coach is yelling his instructions from the side and not swimming into there. I'm not sure maybe there's a misunderstanding that he's not allowed to go in there, but I think the referees will talk to him later on to make sure he's clear on that. Yeah. As we look at the British girls, look at that serious focus on they have there. Now that's just what I like to see. We're at the pointy end of the competition, and they're focusing, coming out, swimming out hard.
Yeah, we've only got the 2 more days of the round robin competition, and it is the pointy end. You've got some teams that haven't played, that have had a fairly easy run so far, and they've got their hardest teams at the end, and vice versa. So when we we go through the stats later on, with the goals for and against, you can kind of tell which teams they've come up against. I know the Australian girls have got the under-23 girls have got their 2 toughest matches right at the end of the campaign. And that makes a difference for each team, doesn't it, David?
Oh, it certainly does. But I think, as you see in the draw, and any coach will be interested to see what the draws are, because now a place like we have here with Great Britain in 5th and 4th means you're possibly playing a stronger team, and you'd want to play the lesser of the stronger teams in the semis and in the quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing worse than coming up against, you finish 6th and you end up playing off 1st or 2nd just to get in the finals.
Colombia had a lovely flick, and I'm not sure we missed that, but I'm getting the number.
Oh, this one here? Yep.
Yeah, it looks like number 5, Maria Tarbosa, has drawn first another piece of blood for the Colombians to narrow that gap to 1. It's now 2-1, and we're seeing Maria swimming back, looking for a well-earned rest. She drove in really hard with her support play and chipped a little shot over the defender, and it sort of one bouncing in the tray.
You just can't, and I keep on saying this, David, you can't underestimate the power of your trump card, which is pulling a timeout. The timeout can just stop the opposition's momentum and get your team totally focused and hungry. And it paid off. Well done, Colombians, coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see sort of the energy and their quickness back down to the game, so they're really back in focus. But that's not starting the Brits. The Brits are going after them in numbers, and the support plays. That was a bit dangerous, trying to defend and taking it into the middle of the pool. Courageous, I would use. I'm sure the coach was a bit unhappy there.
And as you know, both of us have done. Well, Dave's a very experienced coach, and he would have been wanting his player there to swim, continue the swim. You don't want to cut back in too early because you haven't given your own team a chance to go up, have a breath, and regroup behind you. So the further you do that swim, the more chance you've got of support when you do look for a pass.
Yeah, and then that was an equal puck there, Nat. I think it was called there, and Columbia's come out on trump in defense, but they're trying to defend in the middle of the pool. But look, they're attacking it because the Brits have set up wide in their defense on that free puck, which is, it's interesting. We've been seeing a lot of spread defense against free pucks. It sort of plays for options, but you spread like that, it creates holes, and we're seeing one being capitalized by the Colombians now.
Yeah, a little bit square, the Brits. Colombia do that. They tend to weave, don't they, David? They weave up the centre, and it's working for them now. They seem to have got their flow going.
Yeah, their mojo is in sex. That weaving, if you ever seen the Colombians warm up on the deck, I came in this morning and they were already in their warm up and they're doing the little dance. In a group, the Colombians are well known for making together, and they were in unison, and that's sort of how they play in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think the whole kind of line dancing salsa, they do the whole lot on the side beforehand, and it seems to work. And that's the standout for Colombia is the numbers on the bottom and the way that they group around each other. It is just like a dance formation. Spot on, David.
Yeah, and the and as we talk, the Great Britain coach Joe is looking for a half-time, but she didn't get her call, so the play has been on. The chief referee obviously didn't see her, looking for a timeout. She might be a bit upset about that, or he might be a bit upset about that, but play continues, and the Colombians are making a concerted drive, trying to catch the Great Britons off him, and I think they caught him a little bit because I think all the Great Britain girls were looking for that timeout.
Look at this cross, David. She's strong, good skills, great swerve, chip flicks, and it's in the tray, trough, bin, and net.
Yeah, bin, net, tray, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, trough. Can't forget the trough.
I'm going to call it a bucket today.
I reckon Joe will be pretty upset that she didn't get her timeout because that caught the girls a bit napping because they were expecting the timeout. And the Colombians took clear advantage of that by scoring a goal. And it looks like number 2, Catalina Azet, and has popped that one in and to level the match at 2-2. With still 4 minutes left to go in the half, Nat.
Yeah, look, well done for Great Britain for coming out so strong. They really did catch the Colombians out. Colombians are now regrouping, so it'll be interesting to see if they keep pushing the envelope, David.
Yeah, and as we say, we see the Great Britain making a strong run up the right outside and trying to capitalize on moving some pressure into the back line of the Colombians net.
We've got the other 19 girls in the court next door, Australia versus Canada. Australia are 3-0 to Canada if you want to get on the live stream and check that out. Thanks for contributing to the live chat, Natalia and Kata. Vamoose, everyone. We've got Jaya, SNO, SLR, Mono. I have no idea what that means, and I hope I didn't say that too incorrectly, but I'm sure it's like just go Colombia.
That's our very own Kata Chica, I think. That's our very own Kata, who's here, manager and probably the better half of the Stewie Parkinson. So we got a Australian Colombian mix. What a happy family, and I'm sure young Mealy is probably with her, cheering along the girls for the under-19.
And terrific. Well done, David. And Kata, make sure you get a lot of payback from Stu with his moon boot on. He's not much use to anyone, I don't think.
But I think looks like the Great Britain coach finally got her timeout, and she's having a word to the girls, and I think it's timely that get those girls refocused and give the encouragement that they need. But the Colombians have come back. It's now 2-2, and there's 3 minutes and 14 left.
I've got a prediction, David. I've got a prediction. I've been standing by this the whole tournament. Let's see if I'm right. The timeout here, and it's up in the defence of Colombia. I'm giving it. I reckon Great Britain will score in the next minute. Yeah,
and I saw all the girls in the sub bench turn around and hit Ernie the elephant there, their water bottle holder, and I think they still hold the lead in the best water bottle holder in this competition.
Yeah.
I think the girls are leading by standing, and thanks for that. I think it's Matt up there, Matt Payne up on the camera out there. Thanks for Matt for listening.
Dave Horner. Oh yeah, of course we are. Thanks, Maddie. All right. 2-2, super close game. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Day 5, just the last 2 days before the finals.
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on that prediction that you reckon the Brits will pop the next goal in after that timeout.
I do.
And it looks like they're putting extreme pressure on the back line of the Colombians, but the Colombians are regrouping, recycling their defense, and defended that well. But back into the corner where the Great Britons could recycle, but it looks like a big drive through a 45 almost, but straight into the middle of the pool. Well protected, but she's surrounded by some GBs.
Danger, Will Robbins. Oh, my goodness. And I just wish Great Britain had capitalised there, because you put yourself out to dry in the middle of the pool like that, you've got to take what's coming.
Glory days, Nat. Glory days.
Okay. Well, my prediction, I think I've run out of my minute, but Great Britain has still got it up there. Colombia will be trying to... It looks like they're trying to keep it safe, but they can't keep it on the wall or in the corner for 2 minutes. It's not possible. It's going to have to come out.
Yeah, that's right. Great Britain is lining up, recycling. But as I said earlier, their sub-bench is a long way. These girls have been working for the last 2 minutes. You can see the Colombians recycling. After they do an effort, they're getting some fresh legs in there. That's the advantage to in the defense. And the Great Britain team have to do it all alone. That's a long, lonely swim back for a sub, unless you get a break.
It is. And just looking at the stats for the goals against, Colombia have only conceded 14 goals so far in this tournament, where Great Britain have conceded 37. So obviously from those stats, I mean, I know obviously they've played different teams. However, I'd be thinking Great Britain want to avoid it in the back line. And put it into their forward line, because that's where their strengths are. Colombia have got a terrifically strong back line. They've just got to put it on the back line and keep on pressuring.
Yeah, and as we see, the Great Britons are constantly trying to make the – and it looks like they are still pressuring the Colombians, because they forced the Colombians into it looked like a bit of a stick foul, and at that intensity, little mistakes happen, and it's not intentional. So it's only a pullback, as the Great Britain line up to take a free puck, and it looks like they put one player in front and everyone else behind the puck. That looks like playing a very conservative possession game, Nat.
Yeah, and they opened it up, really only flicking to one player out in the right wing there. It's low odds as far as I'm concerned. I think, you need 2 players to be flicking to, so you've got that triangle happening, one back, two forwards.
Yeah, you're right there. It didn't take long for the Colombian defense to catch on to that and screen her into only place she had open water was to the wall. And once again, the Colombians with some fresh legs are driving to the middle of the pool and defending by the Great Britons to move it across to the side.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go, and it looks like we're going to... Oh, there's a nice big swim, David.
Yeah, can she make it to the end? We got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3...
Oh, she's
2.
still away. Come on,
flick
it.
Flick it, hurry. Hold on.
Oh, no, that's going to be a close call.
It's going to be a close one. We've got goals being signaled here.
That
right
one gave
on
me
the buzzer.
Goosebumps.
It is, and hold on, we're having some
ref timeout.
Ref timeout to decide. We're not sure. That was so close, Nat. It's the clock. It'll come down microseconds. Yep. Well, we're not sure if the replay working here, Rami, our technical guru here, but I don't think she has it. But boy, Nat, this is a place where you need to go to the video referee.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine them making the box. You like in the cricket, they need to signal a box so we have the video replay. But they have to. How are they going to call this, David?
Well, it's similarly we're calling a timeout, no goal. The goal, the time was gone before.
I think it was
the
in
chief
the air.
referee. Yeah, it was pretty close. I mean, I couldn't call it, Nat, but the referees, they're right there on the play. As soon as you hear that buzzer, they have to judge. Did it hit the tray, get into the volume, or it had to be a clear goal at that? And obviously they had a discussion, and the chief referee has made the call. And I've got 3-2 on the score, so have they given it? I think they have given it, because it's 3-2 on the scoreboard. And
now both the teams.
I think we got to get our mics back on the decks. Where they're in the charger overnight, and first game we haven't got them out there, so we can't see what's going on.
Lorna Dickinson, we think, but both teams have to settle it down now here really quickly, David, because the Colombians will be a little bit rattled by that. They need to refocus on the game. If they don't think it's a goal, bad luck. Now they need to set for the second half.
That's right, and the coach is sort of giving the nods, pointing in directions, and and trying to get the team revved up because that was pretty exciting last, and they did the right thing, drove hard, and caught the Colombian backline pretty square and napping. They only had one player there, and she turned to chase and couldn't keep up with that strong power of who scored the goal.
All right, so we can take a breather too here, a minute and a half to go before the restart. David, I don't know if anyone's asked you some probing questions while you've been in the commentary box. Coach extraordinaire, how many years have you been involved in underwater hockey, David?
Wow. Yeah, thanks, Nat. Testing the age here.
Exactly.
That's a bit ageist question there. Now, look, Nat, I started playing underwater hockey in 1973 in Toronto, Canada, where I was learning to be a scuba instructor, and we used it as a training exercise to hone our snorkeling.
Wow.
I spent a few years playing hockey at university in the late 70s. And moved to Australia. There in Canada, we were playing that Y hockey stick, and it was really the big guy's game. It wasn't a little guy like me. It wasn't skillful. When I moved to Australia in '83, I found the game in Canberra, and it grew from there. And that was just at the time where Canada won the World Championships in Adelaide in '86. And Danielle and a few other Canadians stayed in, and we sat down and we spent great times. And with the New Zealand player Steve Stokes,
it is possible to defend them.
We spent time, looking at bats, looking at strategies, even that time, and that sort of developed from there. First coaching gig was in 1990, and I've been coaching ever since, Nat.
Oh, fantastic. That was a pretty good wrap-up, Dave. I mean, that 35 seconds that you had. And I'm going to ask you a few more questions as the game goes on. So, 14, we're into the second half. Great Britain came out again really quick. They've obviously got some quick forwards there. But it's whether they can capitalise on that win of the strike. Yeah,
and just to clarify, that goal does stand. It's 3-2. And Ellie Shelley in obviously watching Great Britain, let's go GB, and Cohen, and we have Danielle L. Come on, Colombia, and thank you for your text, and all you people watching out there, if you're really liking this, go to our website and throw $1 down, throw 50 cents, whatever you think it's worth, but it's really amazing how the quality and the fact that we're having this live streaming, free to air, and it looks like the Colombians are right there on the goal tray. And is it? Yes, it is a goal being signaled. We got one. We got two goals.
10.
It looks like number 10, and I've got Isabella Franco who scored that goal. But the camera's focusing on number 5. But we'll hear the call in from the bench. But yes, we're getting a signal. It's Isabella Franco, number 10. So another early goal by the Colombians to make it quality happen. And the fact that we're having this live streaming free to air. Rami here with the instant replays. Like the Colombians are right there. 3-4 Colombians, and unfortunately no GBs. It is a goal being a 3-on-1 situation. Colombian capitalized as we restart the game at 3-all with 2 minutes into this half net.
Yeah, terrific. Now, in these round-robin games, if there's a tie at the end of the game, it remains a tie. We don't go into extra time. That just happens in the finals. And if at the end, when they do the final seedings for the finals, we look at the goals against if there's even pegging on the seeding
It's goals first, is it, Nat? Not head-to-head first and then goals, but I think it's goals against.
Yeah, goals
for
against.
And yes,
no
head-to-head.
They don't look at any goals for. It's just straight to goals against. Yeah.
And no, I meant head-to-head, meaning that if, say, Colombia and Great Britain tie on the ladder, they say, well, what was their head-to-head result? Then they go to for and against. I think I'll check Chief with the chief coordinator, and we'll Nat's signaling. Yeah, that's how it goes. Goals for and against. So just forget about what I said, folks. As the Colombians are attacking.
We'll clear it up later. Okay, so a nice big clearance out to the corner. Straight into the corner. That's pretty defensive play. The Great Brits need to switch it back to attacking play. They need to be proactive. They were doing something right in those first 5 minutes of the game, and they need to recapture that.
Yeah, Emily Pitchford. Yeah, good comment there. Amazing work, ladies. Keep fighting. And then we have Membelan. She's got a little stars and stripe explosion for the Colombian goals. And Danielle, thank you for the whoop whoop. And it's the Colombian girls. So thank you for that. Enjoy the streaming as we go, and we'll make sure we get some chat going there. But don't forget to visit our Fund Us app for support for this type of things, because we're all volunteers, and we took a gamble by putting some good quality stuff in for the video stream. So if you're supportive of that, throw 50 cents in the kitty, and I think we're up around the $3,000 mark already on that.
I think you're right, David. I think, what's our target? 10,000?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it'd be good to get there because, like you said, exactly, we did take a gamble. 6 cameras in the water, all these monitors we've got 7 monitors in the comms box. Well, we've got oodles of big screens out on the pool deck, and if you like it and you want it to continue, yep, that'd be great if we could have a couple of bucks.
Yeah, and interesting strategy the Colombians on free pucks. They sort of send 2 or 3 players out for subbing, but these referees are quick in getting it started. So it's a bit of a gamble, swapping those players around, having to swim, not getting settled, and going straight into the play net.
Yeah, if I was in that coaching position, I'd be telling my girls or boys, no subbing on those frees unless it's right in front. And even then, the refs start it so quickly. If you're coming in off the sub bench, you're on the surface, you're pointing in the wrong direction, you're not setting up in a good position to react to the free puck. I think the only time you can really sub in this game, because of those quick starts, is when the play passes by your sub bench, you've got possession, and then you can go.
Yeah, there's 2 rules of thumbs there, I think, Nat, if you look at it in some of the other countries that do it. If you're down there, like this lovely drive by the Colombians, there's 4 of them attacking their back line, but we got a nice deep defender in Great Britain covering the drive and some good screening happening on. Nice roll, feedback to the middle, and Colombians are recycling through that middle channel. But look at the GB defense. It's all there, all clearing up the passes, and a nice knockdown by that defender who clears it to the side, but she's been rolled off. But the referee's seen something that she doesn't like, and we got a bit of an obstruction call. And that rolling tackle there, she must have just made a bit of contact. It is a non-contact sport, Nat, but you and I know full well that it just happens like basketball, don't we, Nat?
It certainly does. And look, I am actually impressed with the amount. We haven't had many injuries at all in this tournament, David. I think I've seen one little spot of blood, and that's about it. But it's been pretty clean. While it is a no-contact sport, there is plenty of contact. But we don't seem to have the same level of injuries as we do with some of the other sports.
Yeah, that blood on the deck was a bit of a fin rub that one of the New Zealand players had, kicking so hard, and some of his tape had worn off that he put on his feet to protect it from the fin rub. But yeah, it was a bit of dripping on the deck there yesterday. But you're right, that's been it. A lot of the stuff you see strapping, and I know from the Australian point of view, we have a really great physio team. A good shout out to Nick and his team of people he have down here. All his work is about 90% preventative because someone gets a bit of a niggle, bit of a caught shoulder, and he's straight away on that, getting his physio treatment, but also straps it up for the next few games. But again, we see the Great Britain a free puck. Again, the Colombians with a large spread defense had covered that really well and looking to clear it out of their end. She thought about the middle, didn't she?
She was tempted to go back into the middle, but well done. Look, you've got to be careful when you have that second thinking hesitation. You get caught flat-footed, flat-finned, and someone will steal it from you. So you've got to know where you're going before you even get the puck, don't you, David?
Yeah. James Buffery saying great defense. Come on, girls. I make the assumption, James, that you're talking for the Great Britain side because both teams are under extreme pressure in their defense. And now I got Sophie Speed just fired something up there in the goal, girls. Let's go. And I assume that's for the Great Britain because they're pressing Colombia. But they've been given a bit of a reprieve, the Colombian, with a free puck and their standard free puck formation behind it, support it, and let's drive it out.
Wow, I've actually never seen it quite so far back for that free puck, David. She went out on her own and curled back to 5 players. I don't see that very often. You've either usually got 3 players in front of you that are your targets, or everyone's swimming onto the puck together. That's a first for me, actually.
Isn't that? Because that's a if you've seen a couple of the Colombian play, some of the Argentinians and some of the European countries, they have a tendency to sit their players behind. I think it's a behind the puck conservative type approach where they like to keep possession rather than flick it riskily through the things like we like to do here in Australia.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it didn't pay off that time, but I think that was because there was an infringement called. Hey, nice swim, nice pick up from this Colombian, and cutting it back in so early. We're still with a wall of Great Britain players. Another couple of kicks I think would have been a good idea, but they've obviously got their game plan.
Yeah, they got the game plan, but I'm sure the coach would be saying, yeah, you got to have a look and see what the defenses do, and And you got to say that the Great Britain spread defense sort of had that all covered, and the Colombians need to have a peeky looky and see what they're doing before they try to drive through the middle on the 45. But it's their rocking and rolling the puck through the middles, the curl, feeding it back to things. But the Great Britain defense is all over this net.
Yeah, and I'm just loving this vision today. Seems to be almost the clearest, or the light must be just right. And with our 6 cameras, look at this vision of how everyone's setting up. What a great third effort from...
Yeah, that lady who scored that goal, I saw her on the bottom.
Number 8, I think, David.
Yeah, I think it's number 8, Daniela Serna. I saw her waiting for the puck to come out on one of the rock and roll moves mid-court. On the bottom, mid-court. She made an effort in the swim. She got the puck once, passed it to her player, and then
with our 6
still down there.
And she curls here.
Curls.
Vision of how everyone's set up.
A little bit of a dink move, drawing it back, pull back, and then draw release. A wonderful move by Daniela Serena. But again, there were like 3 or 4 Colombians in support, and the Great Britain had no answer for that as they take the lead. I think this is the first time they've had the lead in this game. It's gone over to Colombia, 4-3 Colombia, and we have 5 minutes left to play in this half.
And David, as you were just about to say, we're talking about the rule of thumb with the subbing. Enlighten the viewing audience. When are the safest places for a team to sub?
Never.
Yep. Okay. I like it. Well done. Straight to the point.
Yeah, you're right, Nat. Look, subbing is part of the game. It's risky, and side subbing has sort of evened it off a bit. In the early days of playing hockey, was behind the goal subbing. I remember quite distinctly playing here in Hobart in 2000, the grand final against the French, and constantly it was 6-on-10. My guys were attacking the French, and it was 10, and the French were so. Like regionally, like the teams we're seeing today, very Richmond as a Colombian girl's making a break with her fast wrist. Lovely move. Drew the defense. She's got a breakaway. Those little nage fins in the Britain nage fins, not a chance in catching her. She had the steam up, and that's number 6, I think, Valentina Zappa. Man, she had those nage fins flicking at a high rate there, Annette.
She did, and as we know, nage fins, unbreakable. They're great for the takeoff, great for the close-in stuff. But she obviously got the top-end speed as well, and I think that's through that fast kick rate. Did you notice, David, that the defender on the Great Britain team, she was the last back, and I think she made that rookie error of a front-on tackle, which, you don't want to. As the last back, you do not want a front-on tackle. You want to switch around. Dave, what do you reckon?
Yeah, no, spot on there, Nat. You picked it right off, and I'm sure Joe is sort of going to go in there and encourage her girls, but also remind them, remind her that she was drawn into try to attack the number 6 Valentina, but she drew her in by a nice little drawback in the play, and then accelerated right through her, and she was caught on the hop and had to turn and try and chase, but she had a miss. She had had to chase her down, but that Colombian had Valentina had a head of speed on her, and there was nothing stopping that freight train.
No, exactly. And while we've just got we've got a timeout called. Let's look at our let's plug our sponsors, David. We've got the Tas State Government, Tourism Tasmania have really looked after us. There's heaps going on in Tassie at the moment. City of Hobart, Doone Kennedy Aquatic Centre have looked after us during the competition and in the lead up to the competition, allowing us to get in, set up, have the practice matches, and the pool is nice and clean. They're trying really hard to make that work.
Oh, look, the teams at the Aquatic Centre last night, as soon as the games had finished, we're in there with the vacuum cleaners, we're in there with the scrubbers and making it clear, and we see every morning it's crystal clear. And as a reminder, all the players have to have a shower before they can get that body odor. But cycling 600 players through the pool for the day, you're going to get a bit of cloudiness in it. By the end of the night, it's not too bad, but it's not as good as the morning. Not as the Colombians have been asked to force back and a warning give to the team or the individual playing that they did something wrong the referees didn't like. I didn't see it, but I think it was a stick infringement. And the Great Britons are looking to pop in 2 goals to draw even.
Look at this good possession. She's got a girl underneath her. She's got a girl behind her. She has a quick sub there. Great Britain regain possession, and that's through sheer doggedness and hard work. Well done, Great Britain. I liked that double teaming with a third player rotating round as support. That's, as a coach, that's what you want to see. You want to see that it's well drilled.
Yeah, and a lot of fierce battle on the bats of the Colombians trying to look to draw it off. And, Mishita, a great game going on here. Right you are. And you're right. Up in the other court, Canada versus Australia, the Canadians don't have a single sub, and they're playing 6 for the game.
Are they?
Yeah, they are, Nat. And, Misha must have 2 screens going on in both games. I'm glad to hear you watching both games, and the Colombians are making a draw. Unfortunately, the 3-on-1, that defender was late, number 8 for Great Britain, Vicky Garford. Unfortunately, was a bit late on the play.
I think we had number 8 for Colombia scoring. I
think it was Danielle Serena who's popped in, maybe her second or third goal of the game. And Colombia is taking a double score lead, 6-3.
Yeah,
they
How
are.
did that happen, David?
It was just simply
going
on both games. 45 she ran there, drew in the defender. The Colombians did a bit of a pullback, push forward, and slowed around. A beautiful move by number 8, Danielle Sereno, off the 45, drew in the Great Britain defender, and I'll call it a jink, call it a swerve, call it whatever you like, but she got around her.
She did.
And popped the goal in. The last defender was up there.
I think both teams. I know there's been a timeout this half. If this is a time Great Britain needs to regroup. For Joe. The Great Britain girls need to get whatever the magic they had in that first part of the game. They need to get that back. They're working hard. I think Colombia have found their game style and they're keeping possession. And if you're keeping possession and using the whole pool to do that, you force the opposition into a chasing game. Yeah. And that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely, Nat. You can see the Colombians testing the 45, testing the square line, not afraid to take it out wide and trying to draw the Great Britain girls off their lines, off their positioning so that they actually can regroup like we're seeing here. We've got, there's 4 Colombians down with 2 Great Britainers trying to chase it.
Oh, okay. If I was, doing any coaching of juniors, I think from, all our past, David, and all the footage that we've managed to watch over the years, this game is one that you'd definitely use as a coaching tool. And we're lucky with the 6 cameras, 4 in water, 2 on the surface, and the clear pool working with us. I would hope that a lot of people are going to download these games, copy them, and use them as a coaching tool for their kids coming through.
Yeah, that's right, and this is all free, Nat. So if you're thinking this is good stuff and you're really happy, I'm going to put another plug in. I know I do it because we want that $3,000 up to the $10,000 to help. And just remember that money's not coming to this commentary booth. This is going to the sport, and the sport we all love and play. And it will help go support junior hockey around the world by having this type of coaching tool, as you described it, Nat.
Yeah, and we've got the next World Championships in Canada and the next World Championships for the age groups in Sheffield. And these cameras, now that we've got all this equipment, it will travel the world and it can be used in other tournaments, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to Sheffield in 2 in almost 3 meters for the age groups. That's going to be challenging.
Really?
A 2.6 court. Yeah, if I recall correctly, if they're going to play in the same one in that we played in, I think it was 2008.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't
6,
go on that one.
Somewhere like
6
that.
or 8.
Yeah, it was after Canada in 2002, Hobart. No, we had
2004
we had
New
Christchurch
Zealand.
in there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I went to that one.
Yeah, and then Canada. Canada was after Hobart, 2002. 2006 after Christchurch, so it must have been 2008 in Sheffield. But
and then
yes,
Africa in 2010.
As the game draws to an end, that Colombian victorious over the Black, an exciting game seen there. Great Britain came out super strong, caught the Colombians napping, but the Colombians regrouped and came back to take this game 3-0. There's Ernie out there. Unfortunately, he needs a bit of pumping up because he looks a bit flat today. The Great Britain girls weren't flat, but he needs to get a bit of more air into him. So we might try to get on the deck, Knack, and try to catch some of the girls as they come out and
I think so.
in this early match. So thanks for joining me again,
Thank
Nat,
you,
and
David.
thanks for having me.
I know. First time of the day. We've got a long day today. We'll be here for a good 10 hours doing this gig today. Great to have you on the stream. Danny, keep scoring, have no nails left. Oh, that's pretty brutal. David's just heading out into the onto the pool deck to grab a couple of the girls for a chitter-chatter. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will chat again soon. Nat Wickham saying ta-da.
Yeah, I'm on the pool deck here. We'll try to get some of the either the Colombian or the Great Britain players to come over and have a chat to see how they felt in that exciting game. Colombia did win in the end, but Great Britain came out firing, and the Colombians answered that charge and came back with a 6. And I'm just waiting for call some people over and have a bit of chat with them. But just so those people who are watching between threes, it looks like the Canadian player who was hit in the head is in the first aid room, and she's recovering well. Here we go. Number 9 from the Great Britain team. Come stand over here because the camera is over there and you can wave. Do you see Matt there waving at you? Say hi. And my microphone can only go so far. And welcome back. I remember having a chat to you earlier. Yeah. I'm sorry, the name is?
My name's Abby Calvert from Leeds.
You're from Leeds. And, you guys came out really hard and stuck it to the Great Britons in the first half.
Yeah, we did. We were just told just to keep it into the wall. We knew they were going to drive it up the middle, and we just said to each other, we'll just keep it up the wall, and we'll drive it, and we'll just keep them into the wall.
Yeah, and you had that onslaught of the Colombians in after their timeout, and they came back and regrouped on you. I did see a lot of great defense by your side. You had your numbers on the bottom. How are the girls feeling at about halftime?
We were feeling really proud of ourselves. We were feeling really we were feeling really proud of ourselves. We were very happy. But after halftime, we did come back strong. But still, we kept pushing, and we just kept on going.
Well, it was a very exciting game. You have any more games this afternoon?
Yeah, we have our 3 games today. We have Australia, and New Zealand.
Well, best of luck in the afternoon. Any shout-outs for the people back home?
Just again, a shout out to my family, school friends, and of course the Batley Club and Matthew Dawson for supporting us all the way.
Okay, wave to them. We're all down that way.
Hello.
Good.
Hello.
Good luck, and I'll try to get someone from the Colombian team look and see what's going on. Here, interview to ask him how the game was and all that. Just stay at the camera.
Sí, buenas, estamos aquí con Sergio, el entrenador de la selección sub-19 colombiana. Sergio, ¿cómo viste el partido de las chicas?
Bueno, un partido muy bueno, un rival que se está cogiendo confianza. También le permitimos que se cogiera esa confianza entrando un poquito desconcentradas en el inicio del partido. Nos marcan 2 goles muy rápidos y la concentración se va por un momento. Luego nos concentramos de nuevo, volvemos a configurar el equipo y podemos levantar el marcador a 6-3.
Esta es la segunda vez que enfrentan el equipo de GB. Entiendo que están haciendo double round robin. ¿Cómo ves la diferencia entre el primer partido que hicieron las chicas contra GB y el segundo partido?
Bueno, la diferencia radica en que el primer partido no las conocíamos, jugamos contra ellas, tuvimos un excelente resultado y para este segundo partido por ese mismo resultado nos confiamos, nos relajamos, pensamos que es un equipo al que ya superamos y se nos olvida que todos los partidos hay que jugarlos con la misma intensidad.
Sí, correcto, Sergio. ¿Y cómo ves a las chicas de ánimo y cómo las ves jugando, cómo han venido creciendo durante el torneo, cómo las ves para los siguientes partidos?
No, yo veo el equipo muy sólido, yo veo el equipo muy concentrado, pulir esos detallitos que la mente muchas veces juega con nosotros, pero puliendo esos pequeños detalles.
It is possible to defend them.
Muchas gracias, Sergio. Nos vemos
That was
luego.
number 2, Simeon.
Gracias, boys.